This is a tribute video to a very special former darktide YouTuber. Anyway, somebody posted in my Discord server, which you should totally join, please. It's in the description. Click the link, please. God, we need more people. We're always trying to hang out and talk to people. Mwah, it's cleaned up. It's actually pretty professional now. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Click it, please. Anyway, somebody posted a picture, and they said, hey, would this be the worst build in Darktide? And this got a discussion started about what is actually just the worst build in Darktide. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the real Toma Rejects build. It's gotta be Psyker with Heavy Sword, Shredder Autopistol, and we'll talk talents. Oh, I can't wait to show you the talent tree. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, so the Heavy Sword is probably the worst overall melee weapon in Darktide. It literally doesn't have a gimmick. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't have crazy penetration, it doesn't have crazy, like, thrusting attacks, it doesn't have a special gimmick, it's just a sword. And if you don't have a crazy build with a bunch of stats to pad you and back you up, just being a weapon doesn't cut it. You know, like the Shock Maul can stun, it can break Captain Shields easily, even without blessings and stuff. The Devil's Claw sword can parry. Knives and dueling swords can penetrate armor pretty okay without anything backing it up. The Devil's Sword, or Heavy Sword, the Devil's Sword, oh my god, the Heavy Sword does none of that. So block and sprint efficiency, because it's a percent of efficiency, it gets more effective the more of it you have. So having just one of it, I mean, can you literally tell me that I have, like, is my sprint bar draining slower than you can recognize? No, not really. You know, you need like 50% to actually start making a difference. Same thing with block efficiency. It also doesn't really do anything anymore. Especially since these days, the power level of the game is so high, you just kind of bully your way through enemies. So Perfect Strike and Wrath are without a doubt the two worst blessings for this kind of thing. Because, well, as I can show you here, the critical hits ignoring armor doesn't matter because, look, it deals so little damage that you literally can't fight armor with this weapon at all. Wrath also is like the worst blessing in the game. Not really. Okay, it's not really the... Well, no, it's definitely not the worst. The Shredder Autopistol has the single worst blessing in the game. Oh, I can't wait to talk about it. Anyway, Wrath is just worse Savage Sweep. You need to hit 5 times to stack Wrath up to the point where it gives you 20% more cleave than Savage Sweep does after one hit. And who gives a fuck about cleave if you don't have damage to cleave with in the first place? The Shredder Autopistol is without a doubt the worst gun in all of Darktide. I think it's the worst ranged item, period. And stamina and sprint efficiency, my brother in Christ, what the fuck are you talking about? How do you even effectively use stamina? Holy shit. The Shredder Autopistol flashlight be like? Anyway, this weapon is awful. Hey guys, look, I'm Hassan Piker. Yeah, you heard of the bolt pistol not one-shotting dogs, introduced to the Shredder Autopistol spending over half a magazine to kill a dog. Anyway, so stamina and sprint efficiency are pretty self-evidently the worst perks you can take for a ranged weapon. But what about the blessings? Well, I believe these are arguably two of the worst blessings in all of Darktide. So, please take note of how long it takes me to actually kill these enemies to stack this 5 times. Took quite a while. Notice that it also wore off. That's a normal reload. This is a speed load reload. Barely can even tell the difference, but okay. So, Terrifying Barrage. Suppresses enemies with an 8-meter radius on close range kill. Okay, so watch this. Kill a guy, you suppress him, right? No, actually. That guy just got suppressed from normal gunfire. No, it doesn't, because the kill to start the suppression has to be close range. And as you saw, even if we do this, it, like, doesn't full suppress elites. They recover from it, like, that guy recovered from it really quickly. Whereas these little gunners actually get suppressed for quite a while. But these guys, they just kind of, like, ignore it. They're kind of like, whatever, bro. Alright. So, curios. Wounds. I literally don't have a third motherfucking wound curio. Who the hell does? Chance for curio is mission reward, experience, and ordo dockets. You know these are the worst. They literally don't do anything in the game. So they have to be the worst by default. Alright, Ladies and gentlemen, at the 5-minute mark, I gotta timestamp this. The talent tree. The worst possible build in Darktide. We can't do warp attacks. We can't generate peril. We can't generate peril. You could, if you want to fit the tribute to the guy we're tributing this to, you could use smite. But I actually think just smiting is probably the best thing you could be doing on this build. So it does fit the theme, but we're looking for the worst. Now, brain rupture is usually pretty good, but ladies and germs, I have to show you something. Ladies and germs. Sorry, as the Shredder Autopistol fails to kill even a single enemy. Watch this shit. That's right. Without any damage from the tree, because of the health buff, I'm busting it down, a white boy busting it down in New York City. Anyway, because of the health buff, Brain Rupture literally cannot one-shot gunners, elite gunners anymore. They need to give this like 30 more damage to stop this little oversight, if somehow someone ever found themselves in this position. Anyway, so yeah, you basically can't use Brain Rupture because it doesn't fucking kill anything like this. You can't benefit from any of these either. We can't quell because we don't generate peril. We don't generate peril. We don't use a staff. We can't use Soulfire. 10% damage resistance is literally nothing on its own, and we can't use the peril part. We can't peril, so we can't use one with the warp. So I guess we get 10% toughness damage reduction, 10% damage reduction, and 10% toughness damage reduction with a final 5%. And that's all your defense. That is all your defense. You have not a single talent that can actually generate you toughness. Venting Shriek is awful because you have to generate enough peril to make it work. And we're not taking this for the flame stacks. We're taking this, which honestly, they actually completely rework this so that, you know, it's a 10% damage increase. Oh, baby. I guess this is, you know, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. This is probably the strongest thing in your kit now. Anyway, we have to waste a point to take this, which is how we justify it. We're trying to not outright sandbag here. So 10% range damage. Okay, it's 6% damage. Cool. And 10% melee damage. Okay, it's 7% damage. Cool. Don't do anything with this setup. We can't really build up peril to quell in the first place. So, guys, as a certified Ogrenomicon main, I can tell you coherency toughness is the absolute most important thing in the game. So, clearly, this cannot be the worst node. This cannot be in the worst build because it makes your coherency stronger. Yeah, so Coherency Aura is only okay if everyone is trying to abuse Psychonetics Aura, and everyone is trying to fucking, like, you know, stack this so your aura covers, like, the whole map. We can't use this Peril Gen. This TDR is okay. This is what makes this the worst build right here. We don't benefit from this at all, because we do not generate peril. And even if we did generate peril, we can't generate anywhere enough peril to make use of any of our shit up here because of this. This stops. Even if you wanted to try and just, like, do this, you know, you wanted to, like, do this to get some peril, to try and use, like, one with the warp to get a little bit of damage going, you can't, because now you've got to use this shitty underpowered Brain Burst all the time. Now, this 30% toughness replenished means that the only way you can generate toughness, which is through your coherency, is giving you 30% less. Which, in case you don't know the math on this, means 4-player coherency regen, which is only active when you aren't having an enemy occupying a melee slot, which good luck with that, is being reduced by a whole 1.3 amount of people in coherency. It's amazing. So you're effectively capped at like 2.7 coherency for the coherency regen, being your only toughness regen. You can't build up peril anywhere near enough peril for this to work. You're never gonna pop. And I guess you could maybe try to use Warp Rider if you are so inclined with Empiric. I think this has to be the worst build in all of Darktide. I don't think it can get worse than this. Shout outs to anyone who does like some kind of like duo where you're both playing this exact build. I'd fucking have a riot watching that. This is gotta be without, I don't think, we were considering Zealot because Zealot can make a really awful build now too. But Zealot just has too many nodes. You try to spend all 30 talent points and like half of them actually do something. 95% of all the talents in this build literally do nothing. I think this has to be the worst build in all of Darktide. Alright. I hope you don't run this. No, we're not done, actually. No. I can't let it end there. I have to talk about this further. Guys, I'm literally Hassan Piker. Yeah, I'm using the joke twice. This fucking setup is insanely bad. You can't even one-shot a dog unless you hit its head. You can't fucking kill, like, anything. See, you have to heavy attack its head. Even if you, like, strike down its body, this doesn't kill it. Zeus! You can't strike him down. Bro, wait, hold on. I don't even think you can, like, one-shot a sniper to the body. Look at how bad the heavy sword is with this little damage. You have to strike down. You have to use the strike down to kill anything. So you need to constantly be cognitive of how you can lead into this strike down. And in case you're wondering, no, it doesn't do anything against these guys either. It doesn't even one-shot fucking shotgunners. And it barely two-taps them. So hold on, look at this, right? You literally, like, need 4 hits to kill a shotgunner. Look, here's something that the fucking pistol can't do either. How do you deal with shotgunners like this? You don't. You just don't. You don't have enough ammo to kill 2 shotgunners like this. How do you deal with hordes? Well, I guess you could try to do this. It's okay if you crit. But did you see how... Hold on. Look at this. It does nothing. Just killing 4 stacked up poxwalkers takes like 4 hits. It's truly hard to make a worse build than this. So here's a full list of things you can't do. You cannot deal with shotgunner packs. You cannot fight rager packs. You cannot deal damage to armor, even flak. You literally can't deal damage to these guys. It is physically impossible for you to deal with carapace armor. See? Literally good luck killing multiple crushers. In fact, you can't even... I don't even think you can kill a mauler in a full mag. No, you barely take 70% of health away from a mauler in 1 magazine like this. You can't kill a gunner with melee. This takes forever. This truly has to be the worst build in Darktide. I don't think you can make a worse one than this if you tried. You can't even gun down hordes, bro. Look at this. Oh yeah, and dealing with a Reaper? Forget about it. You can't do this shit, bro. All magazine to kill 1 Reaper? Oh, you know another thing you can't do at all? Is this. You can't deal with little trash shooters. You have to brain burst them. Each individual guy, 1 at a time, like this. Then I guess you can, like, venting shriek for no damage. There you go. Alright, guys. Join the server.